very mentioned in our texts. Today it will be the subject of time, the planetary transition. To understand the historical moment we are going through, and that will never be repeated, we need to understand who is our home, the Earth Mother, and who are we, the beings that inhabit it. Every planet that existed, exists and will exist, it is created with a very clear goal, and with preset dates for start and end. Nothing in the universe happens by chance, everything is minimally designed by sidereal engineers. Sidereal engineers, creator beings. Planets are consciousnesses who feel and think like us. The difference is that they do not inhabit, juvenile, third dimension. The third dimension, for them, is like a distant past in an unimaginable level for us humans. They are beings who have chosen the light eons, and expanded their consciousness so that anything less to create galaxies, planets, would be a great waste of talent, and waste is something that does not exist in all. It is the right balance. And our home, the Earth Mother, was created with a clear objective to serve as a school for beings who are early in their evolution. And so it has been since its creation nearly 5 billion years. Following the analogy made by Ramidus, it would be like a primary school. This is the reason of our beloved planet is also the third dimension. In the case of Earth, your school year has 13,332 years, started from the passage of the intruder star Nibiru, planet 10, Elenin, etc. So every 13,332 years, the students of the Earth School are evaluated as their school development. The reprobate will have to attend more primitive schools, would like to preschool, which in this case is the intruder star. Those who were for second call, will have to remain in primary school and attend another school year. Approved are transferred to schools planets above, aimed at high school students. How doubt many people, and has everything to do with the subject. Let's talk a little more about the intruder star. Starting with the name, among all found there, we will use intruder star. Name present in the work of Ramidus. It is a planet that is not part of our solar system and, therefore, the intruder. While the Earth and all the planets of our solar system have their orbits guided by our Sun, the intruder star, its orbit is guided by one of the core of our galaxy suns, the Milky Way. So he meddle in several solar systems. Your mission is very clear: to serve home to primitive consciousness, at the same time serving as a kind of cosmic bus. Let's understand the issue of cosmic bus. There are about 13,000 years, the intruder star spent by people declaring the end of Atlantis civilization. At that time, a part of the Terran population then was transferred to inhabit the star. That is, a part of humanity failed her school year. It turns out that the meeting of the intruder star to Earth will only occur again when finished the 13,332 years. This does not mean that a being who was on Earth, and was transferred to the intruder star, cannot, through a supplementary, accelerate its development and achieve, again, an evolutionary level compatible with planets like the Earth, all, before 13,332 years to complete. So this is that until a while ago was Terran, dwells another planet that is part of the orbit of the intruder star, similar to the evolution of the Earth. So while the intruder star will completing its orbit, passing near planets of various solar systems, it will suck the beings that vibrate as it, while delivery other than vibrate more like it, but as a planet that is tangentially. So the cosmic bus. Following the reasoning, many of us who are living this current earthly human civilization, were led to other planets to Earth via intruder star. Like many who are here, they are remnants of the Atlantean period. Like many others came straight from the intruder star, after a period in pre-Xinhou. This is a strategy used by the whole to evolve increasingly the human race. His passage on Earth has already occurred several times in the nearly 5 billion years, and has nothing to do with the so-called end times. It only represents the end of a cycle and the beginning of another. Here it is we work toward demystification. The closest approach of the intruder star occurs every 13,332 years. This measure corresponds to 2 orbits the star, meaning its orbit has 66 years. Coincidence? Obviously not. This is the infamous number of the beast. Therein, the beast is a mental product of man. it is the state created from the fear of ending up in a place inhabited by beings of little evolution, which for some, may be considered hell. There is no beast, there is a planet where negative beings, through the pain, opted by them, have the opportunity to recognize their lack of progress, and begin their march in search of light. Those awaiting confirmation of its existence by our science, disencanum. Our science can more or less predict the movements of the stars that are part of our solar system. Imagine a star that runs the rules of our region, known in the universe. When they realize it will be too late. For those who have eyes that see and ears that hear, spirituality has given many signs. The perhaps most famous of them is the book written by our friend Zhao, known as the Apocalypse, which translates as Revelation. Again, the Apocalypse is not the end of time, as interpreted by the majority, but the end of a cycle and the beginning of another. And fasten your seat belts, it's coming. They say that the intruder star can already be seen by the naked eye. Searching for Elenin, on YouTube. Every day, more people from various countries, posting videos of him. And no point asking the exact date of its passage, it is taught to the sidereal engineers, and us mere embodied in the third dimension, we have no access to such information. What we can say, you can feel it. And he is coming. His approach, as in all the other times, promote a major change in the Earth's geology and, consequently, in its geography. He is responsible for the vertical shaft that our planet is suffering. Now imagine the Earth as changing its position in relation to the universe. It is obvious that this will bring consequences. And then, my friends, get ready for the show. For eyes that are seeing the movements of the last days draw attention. Earthquakes in Japan and Ecuador, storm in Chile, made in Uruguay, and all with fatal victims. And get used, it will become increasingly common. The changes will become more intense, the measure that the intruder star approaches us. And so it will be up to the moment it reaches its closest approach, and then, get ready for the biggest year of turn of its existence. How would the broken manos the Bajo will fica local? The backlands will turn sea, the sea will become backlands. Whole continents will disappear, while other areas, which until then were part of the high sea, shape will the new continents. So before you find absurd to have salt water in Titicaca, just because it is located more than 3,800 meters above sea level, know that the cataclysms are common in our history. Every exact 13,332 years, they happen. There is no secret about it. And for those who think that Brazil will deliver the consequences to be located on comfortable and compact plate tectonics, agreed. We are talking about changing the tilt of the axis of the planet. There is no place on the globe free of consequences. A tsunami, from the detachment of part of the Cumbervija, is expected to give the guys on our beloved coastline and scenery, will be worthy of film. A volcano between the cities of Sorocaba and Itu is also expected to be part of the new face of our beloved Brazil. And lest anyone think, no, I'm not psychic. I just do not ignore the information that the whole gives us. All these predictions are from evolved beings connected to the whole, and are available for everyone. In times to come, there is only one safe place to be, and he is within you. Only our inner earth can point the best place to be. More than ever, listen to your intuitions. And staff without correlate the facts. The planetary transition came to separate the wheat from the chaff. It's time to be clear who is to the right of Christ, and who has left him, no longer has to stay on the fence. And the intruder star will do its part. According spirituality information, about 2/3 of the Terran, embodied and disembodied population, will have his way with him. We're talking about, just incarnate, about 5 billion people who no longer inhabit the earth. And let inhabit the earth, that's what you thought, 5 billion people will die. And it is obvious that it will not disincarnating everyone at once. From today until the day of closest approach, many events provided by nature will take care of the service. As many will increase due to the constant violence that shall witness as his approach. Remember, unlike the earth Kundalini, which presents us with energy higher vibration, the presence of the intruder star exposes us to their high load of negativity. load one that resembles those who will be its future residents, that to feel the presence of the star, it will strengthen in their negativity, promoting brutal scenes of violence, unfortunately, as we are getting used to seeing. And do not even think of being afraid. Believe the death is extremely unfashionable. And Worker of Light, which is Worker of Light, is always tuned in what's going on. Everything in the universe needs a way, say, to happen. And the transfer of beings that will be part of the new population of the intruder star, will be through the process of disembodiment on Earth, continue to play as the intruder star. Simple like that. The intruder star also goes by another name, sanitizer planet. As will beings, withdrawn from the Earth, those with high negativity, the star also operates in ethereal cleanliness of our planet. Think, will be 13,332 years of civilization, that little, if not nothing, added as stellar race. On the contrary, we take our planet to total destruction, just do not cease to exist as a race, because we suffer interference of our star brothers connected to the whole. Our beloved planet is enveloped in a dense ethereal layer that needs to be cleaned so that our beloved home can take your next step. And the intruder star, break this branch for us. And that's what we'll talk now. The future of our house. Remember there from the beginning? The Earth was created to be a school. And for many years, she was a primary school. It turns out that all that is evolving, and she is no exception. So lovingly, I invite everyone to Paradni Zarmos, our beloved home, for his deserved promotion. Soon, our dear planet will no longer be a primary school, but a high school. Far from being a university, it is true, but primary school? No longer. And this detail makes all the difference. Every passage of the intruder star, and hence the beginning of a new cycle, brought Earth improvement so that she could become a primary school increasingly modern. But now it is different, it will change school level. Technically speaking, the Earth will no longer be a third-dimension planet, and will become a fourth planet and fifth dimensions. And as we have said on other occasions, a fifth-dimensional planet can only be inhabited by fifth-dimensional beings. Let the facts. A fifth-dimensional planet, there is no people starving, there is no war, there is inequality, there is no fear, there is no suffering. What there are beings who understand the basics of spirituality, who admitted that make part of the whole. And admit to being part of the whole, it is to be like him, that is, love. It is a new society based on cooperation, where all have access to all resources, and all have the ideal conditions to evolve. Where good is only good when it is good for everyone. In short, it is the promised land. For those who mind at that time, he called scandalously utopia. I suggest that you begin to control it. Part of 5 billion is a choice of each. Do not believe, and especially not feel, that it is possible to live a new society, a new Earth, is to stamp the passport to the intruder star. Choose your sides. And before you start the mimimi, go to something that makes time not speak, are composed of 7 bodies, all of them formed by atoms, which makes us an electromagnetic field. Our universe is governed by laws, the attraction, one of them. This combination, all feel, we will attract to us. The planet we inhabit, is no exception. We'll go to the interloper star who vibrate at the same frequency it. Will be on Earth or will inhabit it, those who vibrate at frequencies of the 4th and 5th dimensions. I run to more evolved planets, those that vibrate above the Earth level. I know that is not the case for you, but it never hurts to remember there is no God who will be responsible for the final judgment, which will point the finger and say, this goes to the intruder star, the one for the new Earth. There is a God behind it, yes, but that God is you. And the final judgment is pure electromagnetism. As Einstein said, God does not play dice with the universe. And indeed he was right, everything has an explanation, just want to access it. Lightworkers, it is extremely important to keep lucid at that time. Understand the political moment we are going through is part of the planetary transition process that is taking place. It is a time of regeneration, and all the hidden dirt under the carpet for years, will come up. Have the serenity to realize this, and they may walk as God in the face of reality. Do not lower your vibration, emit light for all our brothers, including those who are involved in corruption. Know that those who support such acts as torture, those who do not respect the sexual options, those who spit on his brothers, those who lie, those who sell themselves for power and money, those who deny the love, those who, by choice, were placed to the left of Christ, will not address the new earth. I'm not suggesting that everyone become alienated politicians. On the contrary, we have to keep an eye on everything that is happening and always maintain our posture, which is the search for a society that vibrate in love, the better for everyone. But let's not waste our time in party discussions among ourselves. Let us use our time wisely. Instead of sending negative energies like hatred and anger that come back to you, while give off their time to pro-Bolsonaro discussions or pro-Gene Willies, devote your precious time to your developments. Will study quantum mechanics, they will meditate. Bore evolve. Again, sorry for the tech size. The planetary transition theme is very extensive, and it was necessary that minimum approach. The theme will be commonplace in our posts, and we are fully available to answer questions on the topic. Lightworkers, our house is the new earth. See you there? Seek knowledge, send love, be light.